Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 horror film Haunt Season. The film is written and directed by Jake Jarvie and it stars Sarah Elizabeth, Brent Bentley, Anna Dragovich, Adam Hinkle, Richard Grost and Nico Gallatin. Right, the film focuses on one of those haunted attractions that you see all over America at Halloween time. It's run by a group of teens. There's quite a big cast of them. You know, they all come in, get dressed up, and the idea is people go around this attraction and they get the bejesus scared out of them. However, there is one sinister person who is picking them off one by one, slowly but surely, leading up to the final performance where literally everybody's lives is put at risk. Right, what are my thoughts on Haunt Season? Well, a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, these Halloween themed haunt attraction themed horror movies were a bit of a thing. I remember quite a few of them and reviewing a few of them on the channel. So when I kind of saw this one, it felt like it kind of missed the boat a little bit. But in actual fact, you know, it's missed the boat a little bit with this one, because this was definitely a perfect one to watch around Halloween. It is one I had on my watch list. I've had it on for a few weeks now. I've just not had time to watch it yet. So I thought I would give this a go. And to be perfectly honest, this is actually a very watchable film. It's not going to rock your world or anything like that. It's not giving you anything that you haven't seen before, and in most cases done much better than this film. But as kind of Halloween-themed slashers go, with the market being so saturated as it is, this one, does a decent job on a pretty shoestring budget, I imagine. Horror films that are kind of set in these kind of locations have already got a lot of the hard work done for you. The setting the atmosphere, and it's already got the creepy things hanging off the walls and the cobwebs everywhere and the skeletons and the people in creepy costumes. It adds something kind of to it, and that's part of the reason that I think a film that I watched a few years ago, the found footage film Hell House LLC, I think that's part of the reason why that is such an effective found footage film. Because it's set in similar to this, it's like a haunt location for people to walk around and get scared. So it adds to that atmosphere, sort of thing, and this does it as well. It does a pretty good job. And I think another thing that this film does reasonably well is a lot of slasher films that we are presented with these days. Don't do a very good job at letting you get to know the characters within the film. There's generally nameless, faceless people who, you've absolutely no idea who they are or what they do or anything like that. The film just doesn't bother to flesh out the characters at all. And this does a decent job of, well, maybe not fleshing the characters out, of letting us get to know these characters. A small group of them anyway. There's certainly a small group that it makes an attempt for us to get to know. And they do genuinely feel like real people in this film. The acting, I think, is of a decent standard. There's a couple of dodgy moments, especially at the beginning, here and there, where some of the performances feel a bit forced, maybe. But for the most part, I thought the main cast here do a pretty decent job of kind of feeling like real people, and they do actually give you a couple of characters to root for. And it doesn't, for me, it didn't seem to follow a traditional route of just having one final girl. It had a number of characters that were kind of felt like they could be the final girl or the final character, whatever you want to call it. I think where this film does make some missteps is the killer's revealed too early, in my opinion. I think it would have been better to kind of stretch the mystery out a little bit longer. And to be fair, it's not much in the way of mystery. You know what I mean? It's not what you would call a huge surprise when the killer's revealed. Anyway, the motivations don't really seem to make a lot of sense to me either. You know, it always makes for a better film, like when the killer's motivations kind of don't necessarily make sense, but you can understand how it would make sense to that character, and I didn't feel that at all here with this killer. The kills themselves I thought was fairly graphic for the most part. Not overly graphic, you know, not Terrifier 2 and 3 and type graphic, but they do a decent job of certainly letting you know what kind of kills happening, and you know they're done pretty well in regards to the effects. There's plenty of blood and gore and all that kind of stuff. And it's a pretty frantic ending. It feels a bit rushed, I have to say, the ending, how they kind of get there. But it worked pretty well. And there was a couple of times as well where I wasn't sure the people queuing up to go into this haunt attraction, if they weren't actually real people, because some of their reactions to the stuff that they were doing to the people in the queue looked genuine to me. So this kind of surprised me a little bit. I say it's not what you would call like Halloween classic or anything like that, but it is worth checking out if you like, you know, Halloween themed horror films. You know, these haunt locations, attractions, horror movies, a half decent slasher. Just don't be expecting like great surprises, twists, or anything really that you haven't seen before. But you will certainly, I think, be relatively pleased with what's put in front of you. So that's my review for Haunt Season. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.